So we're always talking about mindset, right? Always talking about mindset. Always talking about a lot of things, and I'm pretty sure I have my thoughts uh, together on this. Um, it's on the subject of hustle and survival. And I got into a conversation with somebody about this, and what I realized was that first off, hustle and survival are not the same. Not only are they not the same though, they are not even the same skill sets. They're not the same skill sets. And he's a bit puzzled, and he said, well, what do you mean? All right. Well, and there's two main differences between hustle and survival. One is mindset. The other is urgency. See, when we talk about survival, this has to do with life. This has to do with business ownership, entrepreneurship, success, self-help, whatever you want, whatever space you're in, right? Wherever you happen to be today. Um, and I always go back to the quadrants, the 7 habits of highly effective people, Stephen Covey. And this has everything to do with those quadrants, quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So survival. So he said main difference: mindset and urgency. So we'll start with urgency. So urgency, first and foremost, survival is important and urgent. Hustle is important and non-urgent, which leads us into the mindset. So here's what I came up with. There are some people who don't have either skill set. They don't have the skill set to survive, and they don't have the skill set to hustle. I don't know how big that segment of the population is, but they exist. And I suppose they don't need to do either one. They've never been in a situation where they've had to do either one. Those who don't have either skill set and have been put in a position where they've needed to do one of the two or both at any given time, I guess they just self-select out, I suppose. I guess that's how that works. Then there's a segment of the population that has the skill set to survive. I think most of us have that skill set because it's somewhat involuntary. It's somewhat like blinking. See, because you hear the stories. Oh, I don't care what happens. My child's not going to go hungry. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure my child eats. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure I provide shelter. I'm going to do whatever I need to do. That's the survival mindset and the survival skill set. That's important. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm going to take this action to get this result because now go back to the quadrants, because it's urgent and because it's important. Because it's urgent and it's important. Okay? Cool. There's a segment of the population that has that skill set. But now you've got the skill set, the mindset of the hustler. And I firmly believe the mindset of the hustler exists in quadrant 2. And that's where the success of hustle comes from. And it occurs in quadrant 2. So it's not so much, well, it's not at all having to fight to get food today, or fight to get shelter, or fight to get business because your doors are being closed today. But it's the mindset to know, okay, the push-ups I'm doing today are for March 2021. The push-ups I'm doing today are for June 2021. Now, watch this. So now think about it. We've seen both of these in action. So we've seen the survival mindset in action, the survival skill set in action. Many of us watching this, I'm sure, have experienced that, where, and it's a buildup of adrenaline, and we just gotta do it, right? But then the skill set of hustle, and in either case, we can be consistent. We can be consistently good at it. So we are consistently good at attacking urgent and important matters. We can be consistently good at that. And we can be consistently good at coming out of those situations with a positive result. We can also be consistently good at the hustle mindset, where we execute and get the results we're looking for. Here's the problem, though. The problem is, when we remove that urgency, the adrenaline is not always there. The immediacy is not there. You know, there's a big difference between, man, the IRS is about to come at 5 o'clock and we got to close this deal. If we don't close this deal, the IRS is going to lock our doors. Versus, oh boy, it's a little cold outside today. Really don't feel like making sales calls because we're good. So I'm just not gonna. Okay. Now, the survival mindset, the survivor executes and finds a way to push the IRS away, take the key, throw the lock in the street, and make sure that works out. So does the hustler. The hustler is going to find a way for that too. But where the magic really happens is when you are as urgently an executor in quadrant 2 as you would be in quadrant 1. So now going back to the segments of the population. We have the segment that has neither of those skill sets. We have the segment that has one, the survivor mindset. And then we have the segment of the population that has the hustle mindset. Hustlers know how to survive and hustle. On the survivor side and the survival mindset side, if you are only comfortable existing when there's urgency, fierce urgency and importance, you know, I would challenge that needs to change. That needs to change. Is it changeable? I'm open to hear what people have to say about that, because one of my sayings, you can't teach hustle. So is it changeable? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure if it's if you somehow change the internal motivation of the person, I don't know if it's coachable. I think the change has to be internal. So I don't know if a coach can say, yes, you need to do your push-ups and you need, I think the coach can say that, but it's going to be the individual that actually makes that change to adopt the mentality of a hustler in that hustle quadrant 2 area. So here's the takeaway. One of the biggest breakthroughs in my life has been the ability to truly self-assess, and just really understand what the actions I take are, what they mean, what results I get, and how to honestly tweak those within myself to make change. The question is the takeaway. Where are you? Where do you fall? Where do you really fall? Where do you really fall? Applaud yourself if you know how to stay in the game. How to stay in the game is very important. How to stay in the game. So that survivor side, how to stay in the game. Urgent and important. I'm just going to make sure this happens no matter what. But sometimes that thirst for urgency, that thirst for immediacy pulls us away from the mundaneness of it being unimportant. Because it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. I'm reading a comment here. I think it can be taught. If it first is a lifestyle change, then becomes a habit. Yes. Well, and in this comment, taught is in quotes, habit is in quotes, and I think that's right. Because the teacher is the individual, which so I definitely I definitely agree. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that my wife made that comment. I don't know if that's like social proper. I don't know. So if I'm supposed to say, if I'm supposed to say it and I don't say it, I'm sure I'll hear about it. So that comment was from my wife, Tianya. Thank you for making the comment. If it was inappropriate for me to say that, I'll hear about that too. But we can do. I'm trying here. I managed to stay in the frame this whole time, so I'm making progress. But that quadrant 2, it has to be a mindset shift. So if the individual is willing, because I think we've all been through it. I know I have. I've been through it, and I've been coached. Coaches have recognized what needed to change in me, but I've had to be the one to make the change, which is what I strive for. So think about it. Think about that. That's the takeaway. Where are you? What can you do? Because I firmly believe the key to success is quadrant 2. The key that we're all going to be hit with quadrant 1s, where we're just going to have to make a move and do what we need to do. But the money is in quadrant 2. The money is the prospecting calls that you do on the snow day. The money is the prospecting calls you do on Christmas Eve, on New Year's Eve. And listen, I'm not judging. You do what you want, right? I'm just saying that's where the money is. Okay, if you don't want to work on Christmas Eve, don't. If you don't want to work on New Year's Eve, don't. And bully for you, but but don't turn around and complain about how you're not getting what you want to get, and because things just the economy or COVID or I think again it's a mindset. It's a mindset. So I don't want to ramble. I'm getting to that law of diminishing returns, as they say, where it's like, all right, dude, you just said that. So I don't want to get to that point. So I appreciate you watching. Hustle versus survival. Key. Focus on quadrant 2. Focus on your quadrant 2 activities. I call them my push-ups. Push-ups don't do themselves. So focus on the things you need to be doing but don't necessarily feel like doing, that will help you get closer to where you want to be when you do them consistently. All right. So thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay strong, remain socially distant, put your mask on, and have a marvelous day. Oh, and while you're at it, go to my what? Wherever you're watching this, like it. So like the page, like YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, do all that stuff. Twitter. I'm not on MySpace yet, but it's coming. I'm working on. There's a lot of technology glitches with MySpace right now, so just trying to work those out. Okay, we'll see you later. Have a great day, and almost Happy New Year.